Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome back to my vlog. So my last video was my 37-week pregnancy update, and this video is my 1-week postpartum pregnancy journey, labor and delivery story. So I'm super thrilled to share with you that baby Peyton has arrived in style, and she arrived early, but that's okay. I'm super glad that she came. So I wanted to share with you what happened during my labor and delivery. So last Thursday, yeah, it was last Thursday. I woke up with some really bad contractions around 3:30 a.m. And these contractions were a little different than the Braxton Hicks fake contractions. These actually felt like hardcore cramping in my lower area. And on top of that, we decided to time them to see, how close they were coming. And they were coming every 5 to 6 minutes. So at that point, something that was different from the past in my pregnancy so far, the contractions were a little bit more painful and they were coming, every so often compared to before. So we decided to call the midwife, and so I did call her. She advised me that I needed to continue to time them for 2 hours, and then if they got worse, to come in. So I basically went back to sleep and woke up and still felt the contractions, decided to continue to time them. And at that point, they were still coming around 5 to 6 minutes, so we decided to go into the hospital to get checked out. We got to the hospital, and at that point, they didn't basically, they weren't able to feel my cervix. It hadn't dropped at that point, so baby was still in there, and no delivery, basically, at that moment. So I was advised to just go home and just continue to walk through every contraction and not sit around like I was doing earlier that morning. So we got back home around 4 after, having lunch and going to Babies R Us just to pick up a few more items, because we both knew that the baby was going to come. We just didn't know when, but we just knew it was going to, the baby was going to come either that day, the next day, or the next couple days. So we got home around 4, and I just remember the contractions just getting worse and worse. Like, the contraction felt like a Charlie horse in my lower area. That's how painful it was. And to explain to you all in a little bit more detail, it really felt like an ocean wave. Like it was starting at the top of my belly, and it would build up, and move, to the bottom of my belly. And then once at the bottom of my belly, it was like the wave was crashing on shore. And that is the Charlie horse feeling that I was feeling. So it was just uncomfortable. It was the worst, the worst pain that I've ever experienced in my life. And the contractions at that point were every 3 minutes. So I decided to walk through it. My partner was like, you got to get up and walk, or go take a hot bath. I got into the hot bath. I hated it. Like most women would love it, I hated the hot bath. I tried to walk through the contraction. It was the worst feeling ever. Like my body just couldn't move. So walking through a contraction wasn't working. So at that point I was like, you know what? It's time to go back to the hospital. Like, we're having this baby. So we get to the hospital, and we get all checked in. The doctors come in and they measure me, and at that point I was 1 centimeter dilated. So I was like, finally, this baby might come. And so basically I had to wait it out. And I spent we got to the hospital maybe at 6, and I didn't dilate to 5 centimeters until almost 10, if I can remember. So from 6 to 10, I was all natural, breathing through those terrible contractions. And boy, let me tell you, those contractions made me sick. It made me hot. It made me cold. It made me dizzy. It made me all types of things. Like, being pregnant it has its highs, and it definitely has its lows, because when it's time to deliver, the contractions are like the worst ever. But I finally was 5 centimeters dilated. And at that point, the doctor was like, you know, it's time to move you to a room. So I got moved to my room, and at that point, you know, I was like breathing through these contractions. I was like, you know what? It's time to get some drugs. Like, I needed the epidural like ASAP. And so I hollered for the doctor to give me the drugs because being natural so far was already painful. I needed something to calm me down, and more power to those who do it natural. My birth plan was to do it natural, and I feel like a wuss now for not, you know, continuing 5 more centimeters natural, because I had made it to 5 centimeters natural, and I just knew I could do it, but my body just couldn't do it. So I had to listen to my body. So I got the drugs, and literally I passed out and went to sleep after that. I woke up probably around, I don't know if it was 2 o'clock. It was maybe 2-ish. I'm not really sure, but woke up and the doctors checked me again, and they were like, you're 10 centimeters. And they broke my water, and they were like, it's time to have this baby. It's time to push. So at that point, my mom was there, my partner was there, and I probably pushed maybe 4 times, and she arrived. She arrived in style, and the skin to skin, the touch, that moment of seeing my baby girl was the best experience I have ever had in my entire life. Having her here now is the best experience ever. Like, I cherish every freaking second with this little girl. So my delivery, it was probably less than 30 minutes, they said, and it was life-changing. It was definitely life-changing. So that's my labor and delivery story. It isn't anything, you know, crazy that happened, but I applaud women who give birth and who are able to get through the natural way of delivering, because like I said, a contraction is no joke. I really wish men could experience it, because it really hurts, and my body has changed dramatically since having that type of pain. But that's my labor and delivery story. I'm glad to share it with you all, and you know, I'm glad to share this entire journey with you all. I will continue to post more videos in the next couple days, basically, you know, on some things that I learned by trial and error up until the hospital day, what to pack, what not to pack, what I have been definitely using since having this little girl in my life, and not using, some things that probably mothers could save their money on. So look out for those videos, and thank you for watching my vlog. Continue to subscribe and continue to watch and share. I appreciate all the love. Alright, so take care.